Hi guys, how are you? I hope you guys very well. My name is Dea Mutiara Arhal. Now, I made this video to get scored the final test. The topic that I want to tell you about passive and stative passive. The first one is passive voice. The passive voice is used to show interest in the person or object that experiences an action rather than the person or object that performs the action. In other words, the most important thing or person becomes the subject of the sentence. We often use the passive one when we prefer not to mention who or what does the action. For example, it's not noun, it's obvious, or we don't want to say. 2. So that we can start a sentence with the most important or most logical information. 3. In more formal or scientific writing. The passive voice in English is composed of two elements. The appropriate form of the verb to be plus past participle. For the example, there are simple present, present continuous, and simple past. And there are subject plus to be or conjugated plus past participle, or we can put the rest of sentence. The simple present. The house is cleaned every day, or the house is cleaned. We can put rest of sentence or not. And present continuous, the house is being cleaned at the moment, or the house is being cleaned. And the last simple past, the house was cleaned yesterday, or the house was cleaned. Or we can put object in the first sentence. For the example, Avatar was directed by James Cameron. Avatar is the object, was is be, and directed by James Cameron. Directed is past participle or verb 3. It's not always necessary to add who or what did the action. For the example, my flight is cancelled. My flight is the object, is be cancelled is past participle or verb 3. So, they are about the passive voice. The second one is stative passive. A salient type of stative passive is the combination of the verb to be with adjectives that describe an emotional state. There are about 3 dozen of them in common use. They are derived from verbs and are identical in form to past participle, most of them ending in ed. But instead of indicating an action, they refer to the experiencing of an emotion. The stative passive is a special kind of passive construction. We are no longer expressing an action. Instead, we are describing a state, a condition. The form of stative passive is be plus past participle. Or, if you want to name the performer, we can put a by phrase after past participle. For the example, the song is associated with New Year's Eve. Is associated with is be plus past participle and with plus preposition. So, is associative with is be plus past participle plus preposition. Robert Burns is known as the author of the lyrics. Is noun is be plus past participle, as is preposition. So, is noun as is be plus past participle plus preposition. There's no action being expressed here. Instead, the past participle is helping us describe the subject. So, is associated and noun describe the subject. Associated describe the song. Noun describe the Robert Burns. That means that the past participle functions more like an adjective rather than a verb. And another important thing to note is because we are not expressing an action, there's no possibility of naming the performer with by phrase. Instead, we have a form of be plus past participle plus preposition, not necessarily by, like the example before. The is associated with is noun as, so with and as is preposition. And after this explanation, we can compare the sentence. Active sentence, passive sentence, and stative passive. So, for the example, 1. The musician composed his masterpiece over the course of 2 years. There are active sentence. And 2. That opera was composed by Mozart. There are passive sentence. And the last, music is composed of notes. There are stative passive. That's all the explanation about passive and stative passive. I hope you guys understand and enjoy the video. I'm sorry if there's my fault, and see you there. Thank you for watching and bye.